Now we're on to the framework that's going to be added to the sides and ends. And what we need to remember here is that because this is going to be applied to the acrylic, and you need to paint both sides, because obviously you'll be able to see from the other side, so you don't want the motherboard color showing. So I'm going to be doing this in a matte black. An aluminium is most probably the better color. I haven't found any aluminium primer apart from aluminium paint, like steel wheel silver, but I'm happy with the black, and I think it'll offset against the glazing quite nicely. So I'm going to go and paint one side in a matte black, allow it to dry thoroughly, and then we'll turn it over and paint the other side matte black as well, and then we can put those to one side until we need to glue those to the glazing. Right, so both sides of the framing have been painted or sprayed, so I say in a matte black. It's just a simple, cheap £2 spray can from the pound shop. It does the job, and they are painted or sprayed both sides. So they are now ready to be fitted to the sides of the skeleton framing. However, being acrylic, we still need to do some things to the side panels, which we will sort out before we can fix these. So I'll put these to one side for safekeeping and use those as and when we need them. But they're all done, dried nicely, come out really well, so really pleased with that. And that is with a cheap £2 spray can of matte black paint. If you've purchased the dead end version, this would be the other end of the shed framework that you need to paint, and again this needs to be painted both sides in the colour of your choice. Again, I'm going to use black because that's what I've got available. So I'll paint one side, allow that to dry thoroughly, turn it over and paint the other side, and then that's ready then for fixing to the acrylic panel. Right, I'm quickly going to put this on a piece of black backing so you can see this, because obviously this is a clear piece of acrylic. This is your side piece. Obviously you'll have two of these, so you've got to do both of them. And I will include a little jig set. This will help you when you come to add your framework to your glazing. So it's literally fitting these underneath, so they fit underneath and they poke through the holes at the top and bottom. This will then give you a jig frame, so then you can then add, if I move these out the way quickly and grab hold of the framing, might not be able to see it very well because that's black and it's on a black background, so obviously you can see the holes top and bottom. So this will give you a chance to fit it on the top of your glazing and making sure it fits in the correct position. Now, because we're fitting, it's like a card MDF to glazing, we need to use the glue and glaze, and we're going to be gluing this panel down here slightly on the edges and at the top. We're not going to be gluing any of the framework, not unless you want to. If you're confident that you can do it, the tiniest little dots here and there, it might be worth doing it in the centers of the joins and perhaps a couple, but I think from having previously just dry fitted this, I don't think you need to, because by the time you've glued the top and bottom, it's quite tight. And are you really going to end up touching the side panels? Don't know, it's entirely up to you, but do that at your own risk. If you do, then obviously you get glue on your glazing, you're gonna have to get it off pretty damn quick with a cocktail stick to get it off. So I'm going to just quickly put the jigs in, show you how that is, and then we will add our first side frame. Okay, so now you can see I've added the 5 jigs. They're in place, and it gives it a nice base for your acrylic to be on. And just bear in mind that this acrylic needs to be as clean as possible, because obviously we're going to be gluing this into position. Once you get your grubby finger marks all over here, trying to wipe those clean when you've got your frame on is going to be a nightmare. So make sure that you give this a clean. I've just used some IPA on both sides, wiped it off with a clean lint cloth, and to me that's clean enough. So all that needs to do is I need to glue along the bottom, the side, the top and side, and put it on to position. So obviously I'm going to be gluing this side and not that side. Put it into position, fit it on, and then tap it in, make sure it fits, and allow it to dry thoroughly. Do not touch this once it's in position. You don't want to be putting your finger marks anywhere near this, and then allow that to dry. And then once you've done that, you can take the jigs off. Be careful, hold it top and bottom of the glazing so you don't get your finger marks all over it, and then replicate this with the other side. So I'm going to go and glue this one. I'll come back and show you when that's completed. So I've literally used the dabbing method with my cocktail stick all the way around the outside. Now it's time to flip it over and add it to the glazing.